Trending on the news, President Tinubu renews tenure of Director General Nigerian Television Authority and the Managing Director News Agency of Nigeria. Governor Basio too pledges support for Spa fire victims in Calabar. Plus, Nigerian Navy Eastern Naval Command steps up its game, drills personnel on intensive combat-ready skills, exercise littoral fury, as participants of Naval War College exposed to containing insurgency at Naval War College. Details of this and more shortly. Welcome to Nta Calabar News at 7. I am Maureen Leo Ajom. The news in detail. Cross River State government is pledging support for business owners affected by the fire that gutted parts of the Spa shopping mall in Calabar. The Deputy Governor Peter Ode said this during a visit to the scene where he met with the store manager and sympathized with all those impacted. Justina Etam tells us more.
The Deputy Governor Peter Ode, along with members of the State's Executive Council, inspects the damage. He says the State's Emergency Management Agency, SEMA, has been mandated to carry out assessments and roll out immediate relief.
We sympathize with them for what has happened, and we assure them that the DG of SEMA is going to meet with them within the week and will make an assessment of what has happened here and to ensure that businesses open up as soon as possible. The cause of the fire is not known at the moment.
He also notes that government is taking steps to tackle the recent series of disasters in Calabar through partnerships with federal agencies.
As a government, we will continue to do our best to ensure that when emergencies like this come up, we attend to it promptly. It's not only the fire incident. You see how we are tackling even the landslide issues. You know, we've been affected from 3 ends in Calabar alone, and where as a government it's not something that the state government can handle alone, but we don't want to leave it. We are doing our best to ensure that we redirect water from channel 1 that is coming with a large volume of water, and that is being taken care of. Houses are no longer going down, so it's the same thing we are doing with emergencies like this.
Meanwhile, the Calabar Mall manager says new safety protocols are being put in place to avoid a repeat.
First firefighting tanker we have here was from the Cross River State Fire Service, followed by others, and they really did well. In fact, it's as a result of those supports and our inbuilt hydrants that we're able to curtail the fire from spreading to the other side of the mall.
In Calabar, Justina Etam, NTA News.
Meanwhile, residents of Calabar awakened to the sad news on Saturday morning that Spa Mall, the biggest shopping complex in the metropolis, and got engulfed in flames with goods worth billions of naira destroyed. Correspondent Paul Abel visited the scene for eyewitness report.
The fire incident at the Spa Mall in Calabar, which started in the early hours of the day, though the cause has not been fully verified, is said to have emanated from electrical fault. Business owners were on ground to evacuate their goods, while it was sorrow and tears for those who could not retrieve anything from their shops.
My children's future, Jesus! Oh, Jesus! I'm a victim. My husband's shop is already down. I don't know the fate of my own. I don't know.
I just got a call from one of my girls this morning that the fire started from this shop over here. and that the fire is extending. So I had to come, but by the time I came here, everything is burnt, that you can see. Everything is burnt.
The fire service from the state and federal were all on ground to fight and contain the escalation of the fire, while security officials were also on ground to provide security to curtail hoodlums from taking advantage to loot property of people as a result of the situation, as well as first responders to emergency situations were all on ground.
My men called me about this fire, so good enough, before I have to put up a call, they were here at the scene. So as we can see, for now we cannot ascertain the cause of the fire. We are still battling.
It's a disaster and we need to do something about it. That's why I'm here myself, to see what is happening and marshal the security forces to prevent looting.
As first responders, we had to quickly rush to the venue, and then with the fire service, we've been helping, carrying the hose, ensuring free clearance that the trucks can easily go in and extinguish.
Officials from the state government also responded swiftly to the scene of the inferno, promising appropriate government measures concerning the disaster.
We're going to do our due diligence as regards assessment, enumeration of all that has happened, and intervention will come to the various affected business owners.
A major hit on our economic hub, but apparently I think this was avoidable if there was timely action from the management. We understand this came up from a power surge. However, I want to commiserate with all the business owners here who have lost their investment one way or the other. And I'm sure that God in His faithfulness will help them to address the situation. And I know His Excellency will definitely do something about this.
I appreciate the federal fire service, the University of Calabar, and of course state fire service. All of them you can see, and the volunteers. People have done a lot. Let me commend the Nigerian police. They came here in their numbers. One thing we have been able to avert here is stealing, looting. We have been able to avert that. You can see security apparatus have taken over the entire environment.
We're also doing our best in terms of recovering items that have not been affected. Government is intentionally doing everything possible to ensure safety.
Although few people were able to rescue and retrieve some goods from their shops, the majority who have lost billions of naira to the fire incident will be hoping that government will complete investigation and enumeration of victims to assist them to rise again. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
Similarly, as goods worth billions of naira have been destroyed by the early Saturday morning inferno, which engulfed the biggest shopping mall in Calabar, Spa, correspondent Paul Abel was at the scene of the fire incident and gives us a deeper insight.
We are right now at the Spa Mall here in Calabar, Cross River State. The people of Calabar Metropolis here were awoken to the sad situation of the fire outbreak here in Spa Mall, and it's been a very difficult situation as the business owners here ran down to evacuate their goods. Some were able to do so while majority could not because of the inferno. Government officials have been here to ascertain the situation. Despite the rains, we also see that the fire situation has been ongoing. Yet the fire service also did their best to contain the situation to this level. The people from SEMA and other relevant government stakeholders, the security men, were also on ground to prevent hoodlums from taking advantage of the situation. It is believed that after due investigation, the actual cause of this fire incident will be ascertained. From the Spa Mall here in Calabar, Cross River State, it's back to you in the studio.
It's now time to take a break. When we return, the news continues. Stay with us.
Are you looking for a secured environment with good parking space and a natural ambience? Then look no further. Nta Calabar Entertainment Ground has got you covered for marriages, parties, and all kinds of events. Have your event at Nta Calabar Entertainment Ground, you stand a chance to get a discounted rate for your event coverage. For bookings, please call Jane 0806 353 3069. Celebrate your events at Nta Calabar Entertainment Ground. Nta Calabar, the station for the people.
Good to have you back on the news. In line with the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the provision of improved security for the citizenry, especially in safeguarding the nation's maritime assets and boundaries, the Nigerian Navy East Naval Command has launched a 3-day maiden intra-command maritime tactical live firing exercise, codenamed Exercise Littoral Fury. During the exercise held at Bakassi local government area of Cross River State, the Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Idi Abbas, reiterated the Nigerian Navy's resolve to match words with actions in developing a modern, agile, and professional naval force dedicated to securing the nation's maritime domain, while also advancing national security objectives in collaboration with other security agencies. Correspondent tells us more. The onerous task of the Nigerian Navy in safeguarding the nation's coastal boundaries and maritime assets is one that demands operational readiness and combat skill efficiency, fundamentally marksmanship principle, firing and hitting on target, teamwork, and other relevant navigating tactics. These, among others, formed the basis for the 3-day intra-command maritime tactical live-firing exercise named Exercise Littoral Fury. The competition is expected to enhance operational efficiency, effectiveness, and ability to fight at sea, on land, and in joint operations. The Chief of the Naval Staff, represented by the Chief of Operations, Nigerian Navy, speaks on the essence of the competition.
What we've done in time past had been that of firing on land, and the new concept is that as our operations increase, we've realized the need to also engage mobile targets. So the Flag Officer commanding Eastern Naval Command, under the directive of the Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Idi Abbas, came up with this exercise. And I must emphasize that it's not just an exercise. It is geared towards increasing the proficiency of our personnel in the use of both small arms and other weapons that we handle in the course of our day-to-day activity towards placing adequate security within our waterways.
Flag Officer commanding Eastern Naval Command, Rear Admiral Chidozie Okeyi, and the Cross River State government underscored the gains of the exercise in boosting operations of personnel.
When you are firing on land, it's different from when you are carrying exercises of firing at sea on the littorals. And so we said, look, we need to come to our environment, the littorals, improve our weapons proficiency, tactical readiness, and maneuvers, and ensure that we dominate this environment, which we know is a vast environment, the maritime environment. So we expect that by the end of this exercise, the men will be better placed to carry out operations, more efficient, more effective in ensuring a safe and secure maritime environment.
And this is part of Cross River State's strategic vision of providing security for the Bakassi Deep Sea Port project, which is a public-private partnership initiative designed as a value chain-based deep sea port.
At the end of the exercise, the best shooter and group were celebrated accordingly. The Nigerian Navy, the message here is clear. Exercise Littoral Fury is a demonstration of their resolve to safeguard the coastal boundaries, maritime assets, and territorial waters from any form of external threats. From Day Spring Island in Bakassi local government area of Cross River State, Maureen Leo, Ajom, NTA News. In another development, former Chief of Defense Staff and Deputy Force Commander, United Nations Assistance Mission in Sierra Leone, General Martin Luther Aguayi, retired, says fighting insurgency is not the same as conventional warfare, but can be contained with a mobile army and by tackling the root causes of the problem. The general stated this while delivering a strategic lecture titled Introduction to Conflict Resolution Mechanism to participants of Naval War College Course 10 2026 at the Naval War College Nigeria in Calabar. Paul Ebel reports.
Conflict can be said to be an inevitable part of human nature, hence the need for solutions to keep the peace between two or more persons, communities or nations. With the aim of introducing a Naval Warfare Course 10 participants to conflict resolution mechanism to make them better leaders, the guest lecturer speaks on understanding conflict and itemizes conflict resolution mechanism to include negotiation, mediation, arbitration, diplomacy, among others.
They bargain and there's compromise and there's mutual concession. And then you have an agreement at the end. And the good thing about negotiation, if it works out, you all become winners. You become win-win situation for everybody.
While charging the senior officers to imbibe the principles of effective conflict resolution, the former defense chief highlights challenges such as lack of trust, spoilers, political interference, poor implementation, and historical grievances. The former defense chief also shared his experiences on peacekeeping missions and support operations in Sierra Leone and Darfur, Sudan.
We were able to negotiate so many things with Bush Telegram and the trust that developed between me and the leadership of the RUF allowed them to allow us, and they told us, plan is only Nigerian troops that can go to Makeni.
The decorated Army General commends the fight against insurgency and explained how it can be contained.
We have to find the root causes of our problem. And I'm sure if we have known them, we have to be willing and have the will to address them. And I think it's the will to address our problem that is becoming a big challenge to us. It shows trust and confidence is beginning to erode. So if we're able to have that trust and confidence in each other, if we are willing to sacrifice for the survival of our country and not the survival of individuals, honestly, most of this problem will disappear over time. But don't worry, on the positive side, we are seeing some improvement and nothing is going to be last forever. This too will also pass, but Nigeria will be there for all of us. Our children will enjoy it.
An interactive session with course participants shed more light on the subject of discourse. With the information delivered by this erudite lecturer, the commanders will be fortified to be able to exhibit what they have received when they return to the field after their course of study. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
The Cross River State Police Command has arrested 10 suspected members of the Axemen confraternity and recovered a locally made pistol and other exhibits following sustained operational follow-up and tactical intelligence by operatives of the Violent Crime Response Unit, Section 2. The operation follows a petition on a case of cultism submitted to the Commissioner of Police by the Abini Community, Biase local government area. This was on the 29th of July 2026. Following the petition, the command commenced intelligence gathering and detailed surveillance which enable operatives to identify and track the suspected cult activities within the community. The Commissioner of Police, Ajo Godfrey, commended the VCRU operatives for their professionalism and effective deployment of intelligence. The CP urged residents to continue to provide credible and timely information to the police as Community partnership remains essential to effective crime prevention. That's about the size of our news. Thank you so very much for watching.